In a previous video, Cameron from Capturing Christianity said that he's no longer taking atheism seriously. His main argument for this is to say that even the strongest argument for atheism, the problem of evil, does not rule out every possible version of God. Let's check it out.
Why doesn't the problem of evil establish atheism? Well, simply because there are many other kinds of gods that it doesn't rule out. The British philosopher Philip Goff is a really good example of someone that adopts a sort of non-standard view of God.
So, what kinds of gods is he referring to? He is referring to a God that is so limited in power that he's literally incapable of stopping all of the suffering in the world.
Even though God is all good, perfectly benevolent on this view, given his limit in power, there's no way that he can stop all of the suffering in the world.
However, there's a problem with this. When you think about it, the hypothesis of a limited God cannot be used to explain natural evil. The atheist tells you that hurricanes cause suffering. The theist has to say that God created the weather, but he's somehow unable to stop hurricanes. The atheist tells you that volcanoes cause suffering. The theist has to say that God created all the volcanoes on Earth, but he's unable to stop them from erupting. The atheist tells you that diseases cause suffering. The theist has to say that God created diseases, but he's somehow unable to cure them in our bodies. None of this makes any sense. Any being powerful enough to create the universe would probably be powerful enough to stop, at the very least, natural suffering. So you can't explain suffering by postulating a limited God. It's clear that this wouldn't be a good answer. In addition to this, there are other philosophical problems with the idea of a limited God. In a debate with Joe Schmid, Christian YouTuber Michael Jones said that an unlimited God is simpler and therefore better as an explanation than a God with arbitrary limits.
We want to sort of reduce the number of brute facts when it comes to explanations. And if we just appeal to just something that is not absolutely perfect, we start to create arbitrary limits. And we want to reduce the number of limits in brute facts as much as possible.
He also adds that the hypothesis of a limited God would raise the question of what sets this arbitrary limit.
If I were to appeal to sort of like a quasi-perfect being, not a perfect being, but like a quasi-great being, we would have to ask a question about, okay, well, why does this foundation for the universe have a arbitrary limit? Why is it not all-powerful? What sets this sort of arbitrary limit?
Catholic YouTuber Trent Horn also makes a similar point in his video refuting the evil God challenge. It was said in a different context, but what he said also applies here.
And an almost maximally great being is kind of weird. Why would something be 99% great making instead of just 100% great making like God?
In the same way, one could also ask, why would God be 99% omnipotent instead of just being 100% omnipotent? It seems to me like any limit would be arbitrary and require an explanation. In conclusion, I don't think Cameron has a good point. So for the time being, I think we should keep taking atheism seriously. Please do me a favor and click the like button and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Thank you, and see you next time.